Welcome to Real Women, Real Issues. Today we're going to talk about something everyone has to deal with, insurance. I have Anistia Thomas here with me, and she has the Anistia Thomas Agency with Farmers Insurance. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, women today, we may not do a lot of the insurance shopping or purchasing if you're married or have a significant others, but a lot of us are out here now on our own, and I know insurance is something we should have. What's the first thing we should look for when we're looking for an insurance agency?
You definitely want to look for an insurance agency that is an A-rated agency altogether, because that'll let you know if they're going to pay their claims out first and foremost. There are a lot of companies that they have a lower rating, so you want to make sure that before you go into committing that you definitely look at their rating with the insurance bureaus.
Now, myself, of course, I have insurance, and I have a son is 21.
Yeah.
And I was just discussing with you prior to going on the whole having him on my insurance or not having him on. He's away at school. And you said, what is it called where I can have him on the insurance, but I don't probably pay as much?
Yes, that would be a student away driver, which is a classification within the policy itself to where it can have a softer rating for your son.
But he's insured, like if he comes home Christmas or if he's home for the summer?
That is correct. The other thing that I like to point out too is even if you don't have a student listed, you can put them onto your policy temporarily when they do come into town for those days, and then you can take them off. So you can add
That's
and
a good
remove drivers.
idea.
So that's
Right.
what I want to add too as
That's
a
a good idea.
suggestion.
That's a great idea, because for those people out here that have teenagers coming up, and I'm sure everyone's thinking their policy is going to quadruple, which it may. I'm not sure it does that. Happen? Just
Well,
asking.
you know, it depends on the rating. I mean, it always depends on the insurance company. And then also there are many discounts, which we offer the most discounts that are available than any other insurance
I know
company.
Understood is one because I utilize that all the time.
Yep, the good student driver, to student away, and then other things too that are other factors.
Now, I know in your insurance company you don't just sell auto insurance.
That's correct.
What else do you sell?
We sell auto, renters, home, commercial, workers' compensation. We do bonding. My agency specifically sells health insurance, Health Alliance Plan, and Blue Cross Blue Shield as well. We do professional liability. We do over 12 other products within the commercial business as well. We also insure boats, recreational vehicles, dune buggies, also
Wow.
antique cars.
That's a lot.
Yes.
So if I'm looking for insurance and I have several items to insure, say I have a boat, a vehicle, a home,
Yes.
will you give me a discount for that?
That is correct. We do have multi-policy discounts. Oh, and we also sell life insurance as well in addition to that.
And that's something that women really need to look into, because as a single woman myself, I know when you're married or even you live with your parents, they have all that taken care of. But then once you're on your own, that may not be at the forefront of something you think about.
That's
Do you think
true.
that's important?
Oh, it's very important. I think it's important for us to know how to handle insurance, and especially as part of our financial planning. It's also a part of estate planning. So you definitely want to make sure that you become really knowledgeable about what you're being insured for, because you don't want to come into an instance where you may have a claim and then there are some things that you should have known ahead of time that you could have
Right.
prevented, and you may have to pay out of pocket for those things.
No, that's not good. So once I come to you and I have the insurance, do you follow through and sort of let me know when you have other items? Like, for instance, you said you have health insurance. Now, that may be something that someone doesn't have, but I personally, I didn't know you guys sold health insurance. So do you make phone calls to let your clients know everything that you have, or how do you do that?
Typically, when someone comes into our agency, what we do is we do initial what their need is, because most of our clients, they don't want to hear about anything else because they have their immediate need, which is typically
insurance.
auto insurance. So we understand that that's their immediate need, so we address that first. However, we do a follow-up call where we cross-sell or upsell the other products that we have to let them know what we do have. Now, when we do set them up for the auto insurance or whatever coverage they have, we do thoroughly go over their coverages. I make sure that our clients definitely know exactly what they mean. We do an insurance 101 with our clients.
We're going to be right back. We're going to take a break now, and we're going to go to Jungle Juice for the juice of the week.
Thank you, Ardell. My name is Regenia Hunter Coleman.
And I'm Sarita Hunter Doss.
This week we'll be making our green drink.
All right, let's get started. So for our green drink, we have about a handful of kale, and I always put my green leafy vegetables in first, and then I'll follow behind the green leafy vegetables with some lemon, as well as celery and cucumber. But I put the green vegetables in first, and then the salads behind it to help push it through. And then we also have a handful of parsley added to our green drink as well. And I have about a half a cucumber, but you can add more depending on how much juice you would like to obtain. And this is about 8 ounces.
About 8 ounces. The reason why we add the lemon is sometimes the green leafy vegetables can be a little bit bitter. And the interesting thing about the lemon is it sort of smooths out the taste. It also helps to hydrate the body. So if you're not getting enough water in your diet, another way to get it is through drinking green smoothies, because the vegetables have a high water content in them. Another thing is that the green vegetables have folic acid, protein, the various minerals. It's a really, really healthy drink.
All right.
Right.
As well as a source of iron as well.
Yes, definitely the iron. This is not bad.
Not bad.
It's actually good.
The
I
lemon
can drink this.
definitely helps.
Yeah, the lemon really smooths out the flavor. I like it.
This is a great drink to get your day started, as well as after a workout.
Remember, your health is your wealth.
Try the juice of the week and much more at the Jungle Juice Bar. The Jungle Juice Bar is located on Charlevoix in Grosse Pointe Park.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1, only at the DMC.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
My friends, I want to introduce you to Samasco Financial. As attorneys, they worked hard to protect clients on a legal basis, only to watch many lose their money in the unpredictable and risky stock market. Samasco Financial has recognized the need for asset protection for our seniors and has introduced investment planning that will grow your nest egg without the risk of loss. To find out more about how Samasco Financial can protect your financial future, call 586-493-9989.
Groundbreaking, life-saving, history-making. The new DMC Heart Hospital, summer 2014. The beat goes on.
Real Women, Real Issues is brought to you by Mike's Fresh Market.
Welcome back to Real Women, Real Issues. I have Anistia Thomas here from the Anistia Thomas Insurance Agency. And we were talking about getting insurance, what type of insurance. And I know you have a pretty large firm. Could you tell me more about that?
Well, our agency revenues $10 million annually in revenue with our book of business that we have. We are the largest as of 2013, a commercial agency in the Great Lakes region for Farmers Insurance, and we do have the #1 African American owned agency of Farmers Insurance in the state of Michigan.
Wow.
We were just voted Best of Ann Arbor Insurance Agency for 2014 as well.
That's wonderful. So you're located in Ann Arbor.
I am.
But if you live in the Detroit metropolitan area, we can still call
Yes. We actually insure the entire state of Michigan. I am also dual licensed, so I can insure commercial business for Indiana as well as Michigan.
Oh, that's awesome. So you had to take separate tests to go in Indiana, or does anything happen with tests, or you just automatically become insurable in different states?
Well, I was appointed to cover Indiana because some of my commercial clients have businesses in Indiana. Because of their demand of wanting me to represent them for Indiana as well, I was able to get appointed in order to cover the Indiana area as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. How did you get into insurance?
Well, I was actually referred as far as recommending as something that I should get into. I started off working as a sales representative for a couple of insurance agencies to get my feet wet and get licensed and to see if it was something that I wanted to do long term. And so I decided to come back here to Michigan as a female business owner to start a business in Michigan because I am Detroit born and raised. So I really wanted to make sure I had a business here, and I decided to establish one in Ann Arbor because it's obviously one of the most highest revenue generating cities
Locations,
in the state of Michigan altogether. And obviously it also has the demographic that we're looking to insure, which are professionals that are 25 and up and also retirees that are 63 and over.
And that's a good location for you, getting all your demographics.
It's excellent because
But
as
anyone
a
can call
continual,
you. Is that-
anyone can call me. Anyone. We stretch all over this entire state. So
Now, I know when with insurance, do you get a, what should I say, a break if you pay your insurance all at one time for the year rather than having, say, monthly installments or quarterly installments? You do get a break? Is it less, or do you have, if it's the same and they break it down?
of course, you have the one pay discount, and that's because there's a difference between you're not paying any monthly processing fees. When you're doing monthly, then you're paying for someone to process your payment. You're also paying for processing fees, whether you're doing credit cards at all altogether. So that's where the discount is coming in because you're avoiding those fees.
I understand. Now, do you also sell a lot of life insurance through your company?
We do, and I actually insure people. You can be out of state as long as you come into Michigan to do the application. I can insure any person that lives in any state, whether you're California, Florida, etc. We insure any insured resident that is in another state when it comes to life insurance only.
Now, I think that's something that we need to talk about more and to give people, especially women, more information on is life insurance. I know we mentioned earlier when they come into your office, typically we're looking for auto insurance. We have to have that to get tags for our cars to drive to work every day. But life insurance is not something we think about on a daily basis until something happens. And especially if you're a single woman and you have children and then something, unfortunately happens to you and you don't have any insurance, where do you go? Do you guys promote your insurance, your life insurance? Do you have any commercials, or how does that go?
We do. We definitely promote life insurance. As a matter of fact, this past Friday, I had a client of mine whose granddaughter was killed in an auto accident. She was with her mother. Her mother was not insured with us, but she had a baby who was 2 years old, and she was struck in a car by a 2040 driver. And unfortunately, they did not have life insurance on the baby at all. And so the insured was actually calling me to get advice in regards to how should they go about it because they did not have life insurance. And then on top of that, the driver that struck the child obviously did not have enough coverage to help bury the child. So that was a big financial issue that the actual grandmother, who was our client, will have to deal with financially in regards to that. So,
and that's something we don't want any of our listeners to have to deal with. So life insurance, when you go to get your auto insurance, you should look into.
You should, absolutely. I think oftentimes we're so pressed because of the requirements of the auto insurance that we skip out on our renter's insurance, our home insurance, our life insurance, not thinking it's that important. But when you start doing your level of what's important to you, typically we put our family first. So why are we putting our family last in that instance? So
I want to thank you again for being with us.
well, thank you for having me.
No problem. And we'll be right back with more Real Women, Real Issues.
When needed.
Team Mental Health Services prides itself on going the extra mile for its members.
And it was towards the 6th court date. I finally stood up and said, I can handle this process the rest of the way. And it was all because of the motivation and encouragement I got from Team Mental Health staff.
Team Mental Health Services, because we care and you can.
Opportunity. It doesn't stare you in the face. It's not going to yell at you to come and get it. It doesn't knock. So what does opportunity look like? Not what you might think. You see, opportunity is not a right. It's definitely not equal. And it doesn't come with an instruction manual. That's because opportunity isn't found. It's molded, it's built, it's created. It's as much about grit as it is intellect. An explosive high-tech corridor located at the intersection of muscle and brains? You bet. Because opportunity only comes to those already in the game. What does opportunity look like? It looks like Detroit. Opportunity made in Detroit.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
Welcome back for more Real Women, Real Issues. I have Carla Dozier here with me today. We're going to talk about social networking, the good, the bad, and some of the ugly. Yeah. Thank you, Carla.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Can you give me some information on the good? How should we go on social networking?
Well, really, a social networking site is an extension of yourself. So when you want people to see you on social networking, you want to see them as if this is your first impression. Right. So you wouldn't want someone to see you just out all the time, like just acting crazy as your first impression. You kind of want to be an extension of how you were raised and everything.
But social networking is also a great tool. I know, as being in media and having a page for myself, and also finding like my college reunion, my high school reunion. So it's also done very well for people too.
And it is, and it can really be used to like promote things, and like you said, for your own show, it's up, and so people can see what you're doing, and really like get people going and start actions and everything.
So are you personally on social networking?
Yes, I have an Instagram and I have a Twitter and I have a Facebook. So.
And you use all 3 of them?
Yeah, I probably use Instagram the most because I enjoy looking at pictures and kind of seeing everything. Right. But like I said, it's still an extension of yourself. So when I'm on Instagram, I kind of think of it like, what would my mom want to see me doing? What my dad want to see me doing? And I have 2 little cousins who both are on there, and I'm always telling them, you can't put this up and you can't put that up. So
do they listen to you?
I have to be, well, they do most of the time, but I can't be hypocritical. So.
Is your mom on social networking?
My mom is on social networking just to watch over me and my brother, because she definitely has an Instagram and Twitter, and I don't think she's ever posted anything on either one of them. But she'll scroll down her timeline sometimes when I'm sitting right there and say, okay, I didn't see that you post that. Oh, that's a nice picture, and that's how I want it to be. I don't want her to look and say, oh, you shouldn't have put that up. Oh, that's not okay. And like I said, it's the same way for every age group, because I have a sister who's, older. And my dad even got on her about something posted on social media. So I'm saying, I think the thought behind it should always be, can my parents see this? Would they be proud to see this?
Your employer?
Yes, your employer. But I really feel like if your parents are in your mind, everything else should be good.
Be there.
Yes.
It's interesting, just this morning I was watching the news, and a person was actually arrested with social networking. She was advertising or showing a dress that she had. Oh, I love my beautiful dress. And the gentleman who she stole it from, the store, I believe it was New York if I'm not mistaken, saw her on it and showed it as proof, showed the dress, it was a one of a kind, and then they actually arrested her. So social networking has really done a lot of good, bad, or ugly for our society.
Yes, it's definitely cases like that, like the man who went in to rob a man's house and then went on Facebook and left his Facebook page up, or just silly stuff like that. And that's why you have to be careful with social networking. And also, it can get you caught like that too. It can help like someone trying to find you.
And sometimes even when you're traveling, it's not necessary to say before, I'm leaving tomorrow, I'm going to Jamaica for a week, or I'm going somewhere else, I'm going to be gone for a lengthy time. You can even wait till you come back.
Because that's dangerous.
Exactly.
People know that you're
gone. Because they
gone.
know you're gone. If they know you and they know where you live,
right,
then that can actually turn into a bad situation.
Right.
We're going to be back with more on social media with Carla Dozier, but now for our dermatology tip of the week with Shauna Ryder-Diggs.
We are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can bring us down.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shauna Diggs with your dermatology skincare tip of the week. We're going to talk about razor bumps. Men ask me often about why they get large, tender bumps on their beard area, behind their neck, and women often ask about these bumps in their bikini area. This happens because as hairs grow, Especially if you have curly hair, they tend to ingrow into the skin, causing this red inflammation and lots of acne kind of bumps. We have a couple ways to treat them. First, prevention is always best. So the longer that we clip our hair, the less likely it is to ingrow, and clippers do this best. If you use a razor that has 4, 5, or 6 blades, oftentimes your hair is shaved so closely it absolutely will ingrow, especially in bending areas of the neck or the scalp. Clippers just clip the top of the hair off and your hair is less likely to ingrow. We can also use a Clarisonic skin brush. Clarisonic brush has been studied to lift the hairs up as they grow day to day, therefore not letting them ingrow into the skin, causing the painful rash. We can also use laser hair removal. This has been studied in men with razor bumps on the beard area to decrease razor bumps by 80% by actually removing the hair, making it grow more slowly, and making it more fine so that it doesn't pierce the skin. Also, any of the medications that we use for acne can also be used for razor bumps. Benzoyl peroxide washes and leave-on gels, antioxidant cleansers, Retin-A, retinol, Azelix, Axone, and different antibiotic topical creams. All of these things you can get at your local dermatologist to treat your razor bumps. I'm Dr. Shauna Diggs with your Dermatology Skincare Tip of the Week.
To learn more about Cosmetic Derm and their revolutionary skincare products and services, please visit drshaunadiggs.com.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
My friends, I want to introduce you to Samasco Financial. As attorneys, they worked hard to protect clients on a legal basis, only to watch many lose their money in the unpredictable and risky stock market. Samasco Financial has recognized the need for asset protection for our seniors and has introduced investment planning that will grow your nest egg without the risk of loss. To find out more about how Samasco Financial can protect your financial future, call 586-493-9989.
ETX Closed Captioning is sponsored by the Detroit Seafood Market.
Welcome back to Real Women, Real Issues. We're talking about social media here, and I have Carla Dozier, who is a college student, so she's right in the midst of the social media thing. And thank you again for being with us.
Thank you for having me again.
Now, what made you join social media?
Really, the first big step for me was in elementary, middle school, and it's funny because I like to say my generation was the generation that really saw everything grow, because we started with nothing pretty much that we really knew of, and then elementary, middle school, we had this little site called Bebo, and it was a miniature site of MySpace kind of, but that's where it really started. Then from Bebo, like all of us were on it, then we all just got off, and people started doing their own thing. So when my brother left for college, because he's actually 4 years older than me, I said, you know what, I'm going to get a Facebook to keep in contact with my brother. But it really
That's what you told your mother.
Yes. But it really was, keep in contact with everybody. But I really did get to see what he was doing. Like one Halloween, he dressed as Spider-Man. So I really did get to see what was going on with him. But that was the next step. And then after that, Twitter and Instagram all came up, and just all these other sites.
And I've noticed, because I've been on several, I'm on several now, some because I have younger kids, some because of the show, some because I like it.
Right.
But I've noticed my children, in fact, they were on Facebook. Now, none of them have Facebook. It's they say, oh, it's for you old folks, Mom. We don't do that. Now they're on Instagram or Twitter. And some of them are even leaving Instagram. And then the younger, like the high school children, they're on Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter is their, their desire, their choice.
Right.
Now, do you think there are other avenues that are come up and everything is going to, because like Facebook, for instance, I know that's what I use majority.
Right.
But Instagram I do use a lot. Do you see it fading out like MySpace did?
Well, really what I think happened was Facebook became more of, because everybody started saying, check your Facebook, make sure you're not putting anything bad on it. So for my age group, it became more of a, oh, well, let's just make our professional Facebook. So we can just, you know, we try to delete everything we can, even though nothing is really deleted, but, you know, let's make it professional. And then my age group, like I said, we saw everything come up. So we went to Twitter first. And Twitter was really like, you know, us just saying all the time what we're doing, where are we, and, you know, having conversations. And from there, we went to Instagram. Now, Twitter and Instagram, I think, have been around for a long time, and they move so fast that, you know, people think, well, if I post this, you know, it's gonna be easier for the younger generation to kind of keep up, because they're like, oh, well, I posted that so quick. So, but I really don't see any of them fading yet. I see other people trying to get into the whole thing with getting into social media. Like there's,
I know you mentioned the professional for Facebook, you guys, but I use LinkedIn.
Right, and people do use LinkedIn.
And that's to me more my professional one, and people talk about their jobs. I've actually applied for jobs before, gotten interviews through LinkedIn. So I think it does depend on the age group, on what avenue or why you use this device. Why is there Facebook? Why is there LinkedIn? But I think they all are for the good.
Yeah, they are. As long as you're using them good, but you know, people my age use LinkedIn too. You know, we're in college, so everybody tries to find that little adult them when we're still kind of kids. Like that's what my mom says. We go to college to play adults, so everybody tries to do that. So I get LinkedIn.
Well, you have 4 years to play an adult.
Yes.
And then once you're done,
you have to be an adult.
And I know your mother, so I'm sure that's what she said.
Right. So yeah, LinkedIn is definitely important too for that professional aspect. But you know, I think I'm saying they tried to make Facebook professional because it was so just out there and open and everything, and everybody was watching. So people targeted Facebook as that thing to say, you know, be careful about your Facebook, because you know, if you think of LinkedIn, you think of professional. You think of Facebook, you kind of think of just what this person's life is doing. But it's other avenues coming up too, like Snapchat. And Snapchat is definitely,
do that, but I don't.
Snapchat is definitely the quickest one, because you can't keep watching those over and over again. And you know, it's other kind of like trendy ones, such as Pinterest or Tumblr, stuff like that, where you will post pictures and just show trends. And those are more so like, I only go on them because I have a huge obsession with weddings and party planning. So I go on Pinterest and Tumblr to see like wedding pictures. And that's my thing with them. And I know a lot of people go on there to see like fashion trends and stuff. But it's all ways that social media have come up over the years and really like have become a big part of my generation especially, but every generation.
I want to thank you, Carla. You've given us a whole lot of just different things that we can get on, Pinterest, LinkedIn. And I want to thank you for joining us this week. And we'll see you again next week with more Real Women, Real Issues.